Hello and welcome to RGDS, the Retro Gaming Discussion Show. It's your host, Paul Driscoll, aka The Drisk, and of course it is the legend himself. It is Gordon King, aka Kingy. How are you, buddy? It's been a while, hasn't it?
It has been a while.
It's all my fault.
Amount of time, to be honest.
Yeah. It's just difficult, and real life gets in the way. I've been dealing with some major projects, and real life got in the way with the other hosts. So, we've at least managed to put out a massive Amiga Letter D video. I don't know if any of our listeners have been watching those. They've been. I'm certainly enjoying doing them.
Yeah, it's some marathon session you do. I mean, how long does a 5-hour video take to render before you could even publish it?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, you are talking like set it off in the morning and then it's finished rendering. And what's worse is that because I break it up into chunks and then you glue it together.
Yeah.
But yeah, even gluing it together, like, you know, you've got to leave it. That's the painful one because you've got to like leave it going for like 8 hours. And what was worse on the Letter D, not how much luck, because if you remember on Letter C, I lost loads of the work because of my hard drive blew up.
Yeah.
And the Letter D, I set it off in the morning, came back to it, and the missus had stopped it.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know what it was, she said. So, yeah. But no, I enjoy doing them. I know they're not for everyone, but I mean, obviously, they're not designed to sit and watch it in one go. You've got to be pretty mad to do that. But the idea is, they're relatively well time-stamped, although admittedly I've used automation to try and work out when the timestamps are.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I've noticed it's not quite right, but it gets you in the general area of the thing. But that's kind of the idea, is to just shout out some of those games where they just never get meta mention. You know, there was one person that was not having a moan or anything, but just say, "Oh, you've called it like games worth playing," but you know, there's loads of games that aren't worth playing, and it's like, well, yeah, perhaps it wasn't the best name, but I just wanted to get across. My original plan was games worth playing, but then I realised, well, actually, every game's worth playing, apart from some real terrible ones. You know, everything's got an interesting reason to play it.
Well, people have put time and effort in, whereas a bedroom coder, like getting some of these games back in the day, are a very small, especially for the Amiga, are a very small development team.
Yeah.
Anything that's taking human effort and creativity is worth trying. Whether you enjoy it or not, someone will get something out of it. Even if you just chuckle how terrible it is.
Yeah, well,
you still had some form of entertainment.
And that's why I sort of change things up a little bit, where it is pretty much every game, because you're right, everybody, you know, there'll be somebody that has such a fond memory, or there's really obscure. I mean, Dream Zone is a classic example. I'd never heard of Dream Zone before. And it's not a particularly good game, but when you do a bit of research, you realise it's made by Jam Software. Who are Jam Software? Well, they're the people that became Naughty Dog. This is what they did when they were 16 years old. Yeah. You know, so the people who went on to do, you know, Ratchet and Clank, Jack and Daxter, and what were the other ones, like Last of Us and all of those
Crash
big hitters. Yeah, Uncharted.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they're so veterans of the industry, and it's just fascinating to see this is what they were doing, trying to do when they were 16-year-old kids. You know,
yeah, definitely.
So yeah, I'm enjoying doing them. That's the main thing, and the people have have watched them. They seem to really like it. So yeah, so that's all good.
Good.
Yeah, so what have you been up to retro-wise?
Oh, not much, just lots of retro writing for the magazines that I usually write for, to be honest. So a bit of that, just indulging in various games, nothing really to, you know, point out in particular, just enjoying going through various slices and stuff, so whether it be 8-bit or 16-bit or even 32-bit, you know, just whatever takes my fancy. I've just, you know, we've spent time on false starts on episodes or whatever, but at least there's things on the back burner as well, because there's loads of things bubbling away there in the background, so hopefully we'll get a nice constant stream of episodes moving forward. But just the trouble is as well, Paul, in this heat, and we're all suffering the heat wave in this country as well, that your energy is just sapped after work, and the last thing you can be bothered doing is sitting on the PC playing games. You just want to maybe just get a nice cold drink and just and get some fresh air outside, because indoors is so stuffy at the moment. So,
well, that's the thing. So right now I'm absolutely sweating buckets because I can't have the fan on because we're recording, and no, last thing we want is that whirring fan. And I've got the window shut as well because there's like where I being a city boy, there's always like a million and one.
Well, that. Remember, we were meant to record this the other week, this episode.
Oh, the helicopter. That was
the
insane,
helicopter incident. Paul didn't get the joke when I asked him, was it Barrett Holmes? It just went over his head there. I was like, I don't think so, he went. I
thought it was some sort of like Scottish slang for like murderer or something.
No, because that was also used on an Only Fools and Horses episode with the serial killer and axe murderer that was in the house with Del Boy.
Yeah.
And he looks out the window and he hears a helicopter, and the axe murderer goes, is that a police helicopter? And Del Boy goes, no, it's Barrett as well. So, it's steeped in popular culture.
It's steeped in popular. I've obviously missed that one, yeah.
Of talking of popular culture, not really retro as such, but went to see Metallica in Glasgow last Thursday there, so that was good fun. That was...
how hot was it though? It was
murder. Well, the trouble is as well, Paul, right? As I know anybody that drives into Glasgow, right? So there's two kind of main roads. You come in I'm travelling in from the east, okay? So you come along the M8, and to go down to Hampden Park, the stadium there, you would normally split into the M74 at that point. And I just knew it can't take the infrastructure of. I mean, how many cars? I mean, the arena, the stadium. It was a record for that. It was 55,000 people attended. So I wonder what the percentage of cars were travelling through that.
Yeah.
So what I decided to do was, no, we're not going to fight with the parking there. And I spoke to one of my mates who was going, and he was driving as well. And they had booked Hampden Stadium parking. It's called. It's an industrial estate, one street away from the stadium. I was like, good luck with that, mate. I am not even going to attempt that. That's like driving through London in rush hour traffic or something.
Yeah.
So we parked at the car park near the lads' dorm near the Strathclyde Uni, and it's a 2.5 mile distance away from the...
That's not too bad.
Not too bad. Doable on a cool day. So I looked at an Uber, and of course... The
skyrocket
pricing,
price,
right? It's 40 quid is like stuff that we're walking. I had never sweated so much walking 2.5 miles in that heat. And then we thought we could take a shortcut, but the trouble is, at Glasgow Green, there was another big festival thing that had just finished, so all the barriers were up.
So you couldn't get
Transmit Festival, that's what it was called. And we couldn't take a shortcut that way, so we had to go an even longer way around it. Right? Absolutely pissing. I don't think I went for a pee that night at all, no matter how much fluid I drank. The concert was great, but the trouble is, I didn't think about that when I bought the tickets. Where we were sitting, we're seated, I thought, oh great, we'll be under the canopy as such, right?
Yeah.
We were lower down in the seats, quite near the front, which is good. But we're facing the sun for the entirety of the evening, right?
Oh, yeah.
Now, I'm a pasty-skinned northern Scottish person with, I mean, if the sun reflects on my bare skin, I can knock the International Space Station out of the sky with just sheer concentrated rays off my body. Luckily, I didn't burn, surprisingly, but you were just conscious that you smelt your own ball sack.
Yeah.
It's like,
I know, I was just thinking how poggy the whole place must have been with all the sweat. Yeah.
Imagine, then it made me think when I was sitting there, this is what Arcade Club used to be like before they put an air conditioning into the place in the summer.
Oh, God, yeah. There's some of those retro events as well,
yeah. So to cut a long story short, right, so there's my mate driving to that parking place. I parked in the city centre, 2.5 miles, and then 2.5 miles back again at a brisk march on the way home at the end of the day. He got to that parking place. They told him it's fully booked, but I booked. I went, no, it's first come, first served. It's like, how does that work, right?
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Yeah, and so he had a nightmare. He found some place to abandon the car. They had an absolute nightmare getting out of it. Now, so I walked all the way up to the city centre, went to KFC, ate for about a good half hour, then walked to the car, drove home and got home before him.
It's insane, isn't it?
And that
But
was
it was a good concert, yeah, because
It was a good
still
concert.
good, aren't they? Yeah.
They are on top of their game yet to this day. Yeah, people might go, they're not the band they used to be, and yeah, I'm more there for the deep cuts and stuff like that. Being a long-term fan, not as keen on any of their modern stuff, but despite what you think of their musical output today, they can still play with the same ferocity and know how to put on a show more than, especially when you're paying, a lot of money for a concert these days, that kind of thing, mate.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was good. So that's the only kind of adventure I had outdoors, to be honest. So
awesome. You not bought anything in the Steam sale?
I have, yes. What have I bought? I have bought another couple of volumes of the FX Pinball just to keep my virtual pinball table up to date.
Yeah.
And
I bought Monster Bash actually on the Xbox.
Did you?
So it's one of my favourite.
Mm-hmm.
So to be honest, I've only bothered buying 2 new tables. I bought the so a long time ago I bought on the latest version because I hated that you had to rebuy the tables, didn't you? But the latest version I bought Adam's Family, and I've got Monster Bash, which is really my 2 favourite pinball tables. So which ones did you get then?
Table wise.
Well, in general, just
in general, right? Well, I bought. So this is volume 9. I bought the Pinball Williams Pinball. So, music's playing on it. Shut up, you stupid thing. So I was trying to look at the games it comes with. So it's got a Pinball Taxi and Who Done It. So I'm looking forward to playing them when I get a chance to.
Yeah,
it's all the I always go for the Williams ones, because I just love. Because I like switching off. That add the animated figures. Get that in the sea. That nonsense. That takes you out the immersion of pinball. If it isn't in the real thing, I don't want to see it. I've been buying all the, those kind of fought arcade games that I'm keen on, like the games like Donut Dodo and such. So I got Super Spy Raccoon. That was on my wish list for a while. That's going for £1.71 just now.
Some amazing price. I've been trying to be really sensible with not buying too much.
I'm with you there. I'm really tempted to get the new one that's out, the Mina the Hollower. It's the sort of Zelda-esque Dark Souls difficulty.
The Mina, yes.
I'm tempted, but not usual one. It's an indie developer, 1775, and a lot of mornings I'm going for a coffee at Starbucks on the way to work. Just stop indulging in a coffee that gives you instant diarrhea the time you get to work, right?
Yeah.
And get some of these excellent games and reward these imaginative devs that give games that are far more better than anything AAA these days.
Yeah, I'm usually with indie. In fact, the 2 of the ones, there's 3 that I picked up. I picked up Critter Drifters. I don't know if you've seen.
I'm not. I'm just going to look that now as we speak, if you don't mind. If that's okay.
Yeah, of course.
Critter Drifters. After a couple of cups of the Starbucks coffee, I have Critter Drifters in the laddie pan at work. But oh, cool! It's just a cutesy retro kart racing one. That's very
retro kart one, and it was only I don't know if it's still on sale, but it was like only £1 something.
£1.07, mate. £1.07.
Yeah. So I was like, I just got to pick that up. And the other one, which was a bit pricey for me, but
it cost £2.
No, it was £8. No, it might be more actually. It might have been 6. I can't remember, but it was the Carters 2, and it's been on my wish list.
I've seen that
so long.
Yeah, that's on my wish list.
The turbocharged, and I just took the plunge.
$14.99, mate.
Yeah, $14.99. I knew it was a bit pricey.
Have you played it yet?
No, not yet. I only bought it the other day.
This time next year.
This time 10 years when I retire. So that's why we don't see Garen anymore, is it? He's working his way through all his retiring games.
That's it. Retired and gaming his tits off.
So I got those 2. And I also picked up, because it was only £6 on the Xbox, which was a really good price, the Plucky Squire, because I've been on my list.
Yeah, I've got that. I've been wanting to play for ages, and it's just on my list to play when I can. I think more in winter, not when the weather's like this. You know me for loving outdoors.
You love outdoors, yeah. Well, I had Charlie come round on Saturday, which was nice, sort of like seeing him. And I guess because he finally just wanted to get I did that James Bond book.
Yes.
Which I shared on our thing, but it was quite cool. I showed you that random like James Bond like fan site that was reviewing the book. So that was kind of cool. But and I've had some other James Bond fan magazine asking can they use the articles and stuff. So it's
that's
good, cool,
then.
Isn't it? Yeah. But anyway, so I guess we were in a bit of a James Bond mood because he was like flicking through the books. And I said, well, we started off actually on the Xbox, and of course it's on Nintendo Switch Online, which we're going to be talking about soon. GoldenEye. So we were starting to play it, and I said, oh, actually, about 10 days ago, I knew that they'd recompiled the Xbox 360 XBLA version. Because to our listeners, essentially, Rare in the 360 era actually did remasters of GoldenEye, which never came out because Nintendo got all huffy, so they had to can it, but it's finished. And Perfect Dark, which did come out and is amazing, and you can play still on Rare Replay and what have you. Well, anyway, a couple of years ago, probably 2022, it leaked out the XBLA version, but so you could play it on, an chipped Xbox 360 or what have
emulator
or emulator, but it's never quite right on emulator. But
so it was decent. It
was pretty good. Yeah. But probably not that long ago, someone recompiled it to work with modern PCs. You still have to find the XBLA files and uncompress it, which was a bit of a game because obviously Nintendo are frantically diving around trying to shut it all down. Finding finding it. But I managed to get it working, and it's just such a good version. It's just so good. I'm just itching to find. It wasn't running it quite right, but the latest version has mouse support. And I'll be in my element with nicer graphics with the mouse. But to be honest, with the controller, it still worked really, really well. Still.
So it was made. It was made with that in mind. So that's.
It was made with that. Yeah, exactly. Made with that in mind. And but I just love the mouse controls. So that was a lot of fun. And so looking forward to sort of like playing through that. And it's just finding the time, and any time I do have at the moment, I've got the bit in my mouth to do that Amiga thing, because I think ever since you know me, I've always wanted to do I've tried it in book form and stuff, where I've tried to tell all the games of the Amiga, because I think it's just such a fascinating library.
Yeah.
Cool. So shall we, any more you want to say before we go into the show itself?
I'm all good to go.
Yeah. Okay then. Well, we thought we were thinking about things that we could do, and as I say, it was a bit of originally it was a bit of a last minute thing because other people couldn't, last minute couldn't do theirs, so we were trying to think as well.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, well, like you mentioned at the top end of it is, I don't really want to be like stuck indoors. So if I can find something portable, that would be good. And then I suddenly thought, well, let's do Nintendo Switch Online. So to our listeners who perhaps don't have a Switch, and don't worry, you don't need, really it's just a way of collecting up old games that you can play on emulators or however you want to play it. But Nintendo Switch Online is basically their version of Netflix. So you pay pretty good amount. I think it's only like 20 quid a year or something like that. It's not like that expensive. And it's a whole library of really good curated list of old Nintendo and Mega Drive and games all collected up, and it's an emulation. Obviously, you only have it whilst you have the online service, but they play really well, and I mean, obviously, you're not going to get the full level of like dolphin upscaling and stuff, but they do upscale it to a reasonable degree. But I've always liked it because I think they do put loads of interesting games on it and some really obscure ones that people wouldn't, along with all the big hitters that you would expect, like Marios and Zeldas and everything. They also put some quite obscure ones. So, we thought it'd be interesting, wouldn't it, is if we did one of our hidden gems. I mean, they're not all particularly rare ones, but they're an interesting collection. Choosing one game per platform that it emulates on.
Yep.
So that was the general idea. So, I mean, before we go into it, because you've obviously only got the Nintendo Switch, I don't think you pay for the online service, do you?
No, I did. When it first became a thing, more for that kind of thing, just have out of curiosity, see what was in it, and a few games that offered online play or whatnot. So I didn't really delve into that much, but what I saw, I mean, it's grown. Things have grown now. I struggle these days to play. Many people will like to couch game, okay? I've not really done that in such a long time because I suppose it just stems up to how I gamed in my gaming in formative years. I, played the Spectrum in the bedroom. So I continue to do it. Yeah, and people go, well, why? You don't need a couch game to play the Switch or whatever. But I've got my PC set up and, the Discords and Monitor 2, chat to the gang on that screen and all these games then I'd just rather play on the PC because then I could quickly do save states, screenshots, pause it. You can do most of that on the Switch and that and whatnot these days as well. But it's just what I'm used to.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Yeah, no, I understand, and to be honest, you don't need, I mean, it was just a way really of having a already curated list that then, well, in this case, it was me choosing what I thought was an interesting title on each. So, for the most part, I've tried to go for like lesser known ones.
You have, yeah.
Some of them were just because I loved them and wanted to talk about them. But a lot of them are quite hidden gems. So, shall we make a start then? Shall we go on to the first game?
Yeah, I mean, I really like what you've chosen here, so I'm actually quite excited to go through them with you.
This is on the GameCube, and for those who don't know, that the GameCube is only have that on the Switch 2. You can't do GameCube on the Switch 1.
Well, is that right? I didn't know that.
Yeah, okay. But it's a real fun game. It is Wario World, done by Treasure in 2003, and it was his first sort of like proper 3D adventure. And I'll pass, because I feel I've been talking a lot. I'll pass it to you. What do you,
I owned this. I owned this from my GameCube back in the day.
I still own it, yeah.
Yeah, I still own it right there. I loved all the Wario games on the Game Boy and that anyway. I thought they just brought a more darker Mario with some real interesting level design and, something that can stray away from what's predictable of the Mario universe, and just it's like side B of Mario, if you want to call it that. And how they've adapted this into 3D doesn't get sung enough, and just the same way that when we first saw Mario 64 and we were blown away with how impressive and how it can work in a 3D environment, this equally delivers that kind of thing. So it's a simple premise on the game is that Wario's hordes of cash have all been stolen, and he must go over. Well, I think there's 4 worlds and about 8 stages in each world, something like that. So different environments, the usual thing you'd expect, underground, snow,
the spooky one is
spooky
now,
one, things like that. So really, really good, diverse levels. But what's unique about a Wario game is it's a platform brawler. That's the best thing. So you get to punch everything square in the face, and it feels really satisfying, smacking them all in the face. I mean, you can smash from the sky as well and things like that. But there's a kind of to-do list on each of the levels, so there's replayability. It's not just a case of getting your money. There's little pixie things to find and whatnot, but you get that to do at the start of the level, and you can return and 100% each thing. The forest level's a great opener to the game, I think, because there's just little touches, rivers flowing, all the birds that are roosting in the trees and the bushes. When you go through them, they all flutter away. You can climb up the tree houses. It's not overly linear as well.
I love how you can you can hold and spin enemies around and everything, isn't it?
Well, that's a fundamental thing, especially for the boss battles that appear in the game as well. But each level hides treasure chests, character cards, crystals, to unlock the boss doors. And then all the enemies drop coins so you can buy back lost heart containers, stuff like that. I think the imagination is brilliant. I think the whole visual splendor of it really shows off the GameCube, and it gives something unique that it feels different. It has its own signature. And if we were playing PS2s round about the same time, or the Xbox 360, or even on PC, this is its own wee beast, I think. And it's thoroughly enjoyable. It's got the voice, his wicked voice that he's got and things like that. I'm not going to even try to do an impersonation of that. I still think Wario's a bit clunkier to control.
Yes, but then that's part of what it. He's a big lad.
Yes, he likes his pies. He does.
I sympathise with him. I don't have the movability. I do like the character designs though for the enemies and stuff. There's but you're right. It does have that more somber tone, doesn't it?
Yes.
To, from your Marios and things, and I do wonder if that put some people off from the game, isn't it? Because it's sort of it perhaps doesn't look as bright as as kid friendly as I don't know. It sort of falls in that in between camp, doesn't it? But I mean, for people who have not played it, give this game a go because it's really clever platform design. It is top tier. It is, of course, done by Treasure. I mean, these are the people that did like Ikaruga and Sin and Punishment.
It's an unusual choice for a developer.
Gunstar Heroes.
To me, they don't really have the pedigree of making platformers and stuff like this. And
they remember they did things like was the McDonald one, McDonald Land, and a few others, didn't they?
Oh, did they? I'm not aware of it.
Yeah, and so I mean they did that McDonald Treasure Land adventure, which we mentioned. Dynamite Heady, that was the one. Yeah, and Mischief Makers as well.
Oh, of course,
that was another one they did. Yeah. So they had some, but you're right. It was a pretty unique choice, nevertheless. I mean, I guess this was a period when Nintendo were being a bit braver, but then I guess they'd been so successful with Sin and Punishment on the N64 on that.
Of course,
I mean, I guess it's good hands. But I'm pleased that it's an interesting game, I think.
It's not very long though. You can finish in about 5 hours or something like that. And I remember that back in the day when I played it. It was like just within the weekend of me getting it, that was it complete. And it's like, and I felt hungry for more. To be honest, but I didn't buy it brand new. I got it second hand, so it wasn't if I paid full price for it. But it's
I got it for. I mean, I guess for me, I've never been too worried with lengths of games because I'm usually pretty bad. So even the shortest game takes me ages to complete.
Yeah, I was just thinking back in the day when I had more staying power for remaining.
No, I mean, and that was certainly the complaints that because it didn't. It had reasonable reviews, but not your Mario level reviews.
Yeah.
And a large, the big complaint was pretty much the short length. They liked everything else, but they felt, But then it's such a difficult pedigree to go up against, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But in today's world, and particularly if you're playing it on emulator or you're playing it on Nintendo Switch Online, this is a really solid platform game that's just, I think a lot of our listeners probably won't have spent that much time with, because a lot of people it went by the by, wasn't it? Because there were so many other great games.
Never hear anyone else mention it at all.
No, and that's when I was like looking through the list, I was like thinking, I've got to at least mention this one, because it just never gets talked about, and I'm glad you have the same fondness of it as
Absolutely.
I do.
Yeah.
Okay, should we go on to the next one then?
Mm-hmm. What we got next, mate?
Yeah, if I can pronounce it. It is. So this is a really interesting one. This is on the Game Boy Advance, and I went for Japanese only release, and it is Densetsu no Starfy 3. And this is a character that a lot of people never even heard of. It's kind of like a Kirby knockoff in some ways, some people say, but you play a little cute star with a big smiling face, and it's quite, in Japan it's quite a reasonably well-known series, but just never ever made it across. I mean, it appears particularly on the platforms, and I think there's a game on the DS, but I've gone for all three of them are on the library, the NSO library. But for 3, because I think it's the most polished of. I just love this game. I mean, I have stumbled across it before, and it was just when I saw it appear, I was, I've got to include that, because this is, I think, a beautiful platformer that a lot of people won't have ever heard of. I mean, what was your thoughts with this one?
Yeah, I've only played this a little bit in the past. I think it must have been recommended from one of you guys, because I never tend to go for Japanese-only games where there's a lot of writing, because, there's a bit of a story behind it. Not that it really does affect it. It's not an RPG. Don't worry about that, folks, right? But there is good for this modern age. There's fan translation packs, and you can get it for most Japanese import games. So if you want the English translation, it's there for you for the grabbing. And you just have to download it and patch the ROM with it.
There is a patch on this one, is there? Okay.
Yeah, so there's sites that offer all that for all the Japanese games these days, mate.
Well, no, I didn't know there was on this one. I knew a lot of the games have been patched, but
what a delightful game that really shows off the graphical ability of the GBA.
Yeah,
and there's so many great games that we probably not even came close to covering yet for that.
I want to do so many games on the GBA. So amazing. Yeah.
To control, you're saying a star. I always think it's a starfish, because it's all underwater and that.
Yeah, I suppose he is a starfish. Yeah.
Yes,
right.
So, and basically then, if that's the case, he's always smiling at you, and as you know about starfish, his arse and his mouth are the same thing. So, it's kind of off-putting when you think about that, and he's smiling at you. It's like, you have enough of that when you visit a mate that's got a cat, and he likes to show you his donut every 2 seconds.
Oh, God, yeah.
So, I think, in terms of level design, it's absolutely fantastic. So you obviously start off underwater, and you can swim and do rapid dash swimming and that, and collect all the pearls that you have to collect back. And when you're on land, he runs about. Equally, you've got a dash button that does a lovely spiral wind whippy thing underneath him, and his eyes all pop out and bulge. It's very cartoon-like, but just visually, it's absolutely incredible. That was the first thing that really stood out. But there's a very addictive and compelling game to play. Again, not massive, but it's quite a big game.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
In terms of, I mean, if you had gotten this for your GBA, and what I loved about my GBA back in the day, and this is how I mostly played it, is I used to just have one card in the house. So I'd have it, and then I'd finish work, and my wife wouldn't finish till about time I got to her place, a good 3/4 of an hour. That was serious Game Boy playing time, and sitting, and I had to fire this thing up, because playing this on the big screen doesn't.
Yeah, it's better to play it on a portable device if you can.
Yeah, on a portable. So whatever you've got, just fire it on that, and it really, because then you lose the blockiness of the graphics when it's reduced down to the small screen, don't you? And it's just absolutely gorgeous, lovely playable levels. I just love the change between swimming levels and overland levels, and all the different variety of things you have to do. Like there's one level I remember we swim out, you have to ring all the bells, but if you take too long, the bells stop me, have to get back. It's all about the speed and agility you getting through the level.
Yeah,
really good fun. I should have really I mucked about with the patch, but at the time I asked about that, I'd played the game on the Japanese language only anyway, so you get the gist of it. You don't need.
I didn't feel I lost anything. Mind you, you know me with like stories. It's like click. Yeah, go on the action. But it was probably why I didn't know he was a starfish. But it makes perfect sense now you say that.
And the name Starfy.
It's all underwater. Well, yeah, but you're right. All right. I'm fit. But he's really cute, little cutie thing, isn't he? And I just, I think for a lot of people, if you've got your Ambinic and it's sunny, this is the perfect sort of game to sort of like play out and about, isn't it? While you're enjoying the sunshine, because it's not a particularly difficult platformer. It's just very chill but very nice. It did, and that's kind of what reminded me of your Kirby, because Kirby's that similar sort of vibe, isn't it? But it's just so sad that this whole series of games just isn't known in the West, really. I mean,
this would have sold plenty in the West.
Yeah, I know, it's just really bizarre. I mean, I don't know whether Nintendo were like thinking, it was going to confuse people with Kirby or whatever, or what, why they, because it would have been easy enough to
maybe they thought if we release this in the West, they'll think it's a star rather than a starfish.
Yeah, they probably thought, they're really thick in the West. But I really enjoyed playing this, and it's definitely one that it's got me wanting to sort of spend more time with it and go back and play the others in the series as well, which because they're all good. It's just I thought this was the most polished of the three. That's why I've chosen. But to be honest, with this one, I spent most of the time playing it on the Ambinic. I've got a little handheld SP Ambinic, and that's how, for me, that was the ultimate form factor for the Game Boy. The Game Boy with the flip clam shell.
Yeah.
So that brings extra nostalgia when I'm playing. So cool. For me, that's perfect. Oh, so I'm glad. So this is 2 for 2. You enjoyed this choice as well. Yeah.
And as I said, I've only briefly played this in the past and promised to always go back to it. So as soon as you mentioned it, because it was an option, you chose another game for this one, and I think you chose wisely. This was the right one. This is a real gem.
Yeah, but that was it. Yeah, the other one was going to be a bit obvious, wasn't it? So I thought, let's go for obscure. But obviously with obscure, it can be a gamble, because sometimes what you love, you show your mates, and they're like, "That's crap, that is."
Definitely.
Okay, so should we go on to the third game then?
Yeah. will recognise this tune, I'm sure.
Yeah. This is this, of course, not particularly a hidden gem or anything like that at all, but I just love the game so much. Any chance I have to, this was one of the ones I was most excited for on the online. Just being able to play it again with the upgraded visuals, and just great having this in handheld mode. What is it? It is F-Zero X, which was the N64 F-Zero, and I've always adored this game. It's just, when you first play it, it looks quite basic, the visuals, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But the offshoot is they've gone for the basic look, but you've got loads of fellow people on the track. I mean, literally, I don't know how many, I've never bothered counting.
30 other racers.
30 other racers. So that's amazing. It's obviously got amazing music and all of this, and it just runs blisteringly fast. Has amazing, I think it's probably got the best tracks of all the F-Zeros I've played personally.
Agreed.
Such a range. And yeah, I just can't get enough of this game. And it's so nice. I mean, obviously it upscales brilliantly if you're playing it on emulator, but it's so nice to play it on the Nintendo Online and just have it ready to go, easy to play, and looking really, really good and solid. I mean, what's your memories of this one?
Oh yeah, I mean, this was a game all my mates hated because they all loved Wipeout on the PlayStation. And then when you brought this round, they just thought it was a mediocre version. But I'm trying to explain to them that, well, first and foremost, this is a sequel.
Yeah.
Right, you had F-Zero out on the SNES itself and, using the scalar effects just like Mario Kart, and that was ambitious then. I wasn't as 100% keen on the SNES version, to be honest, back in the day. I got more into it via this. I just love, as you said, nailed it, more, you're racing against more people. It's a wider track, and I'd feel the visually, albeit a bit more, less fidelity, if you want to call it that. I think it just looks perfect on the N64. I really do. I love all the tracks. As you said, they're designed brilliantly. There's so much replayability, and you just enjoy racing on them. The elevated tracks above the cities and going upside down. And every time you go through a tunnel, how great is it when you start, like riding the wall of death, if you want to call it that, round and round in a spiral. Yeah. And how many times have you misjudged it when you're trying to come out the mouth of the tunnel and you're just flying through the air and then you just fall down to the void below because you didn't judge the rest of the racetrack ahead of you. It's just funny and really good, and I love building up your boost and such like to go faster. It's great. I don't know why people don't like this. I mean, equally the GameCube one's very good, but I'm with you. This is the best.
Better level design, yeah. I mean, I love what I would love to see in the same way they've recently done the Star Fox remake of Lilac Wars on the N64. I would love for them to do a remaster of that same upscale of F-Zero X, because can you imagine if it had the visuals of GX but had. Yeah, just the level design.
Think what they could do in a kind of cyberpunk city where think all the ancillary things going on in the background and, other flying cars and cityscapes and it would just be amazing. It'd be excellent.
Talking of which, just a side shot, have you seen on Steam? It's like an indie make, like almost a reimagining of this. It's called Super Pilot. Have a little look. Have a little look.
Right this thing.
It's been on my wish list for a while. That one.
Why didn't I know this existed? 2018 it came out.
Yeah. It looks really, really good. I've only heard good reviews about it as well.
Oh, it's got a track designer. You design your own track. That's infinite fun.
Yeah. Which is a nice another nod, because of course, I think didn't this have only if you had the ill-fated 64DD that had a track designer on it, didn't it?
Oh, I didn't know that, mate.
Or am I confusing them with the F-Zero? One of the F-Zeros has it, but yeah, no. That, I mean, anyway, that looks really good. So for people like interested with the modern one, I think that's a great way.
Yeah,
to
I've just
also
seen that
try and
there on
explore.
information that the expansion kit was released in 2000 in Japan only for the 64 Double D.
Yeah.
It always sounds like a bra fitting, doesn't it? The 64 Double D. And it also come with 12 extra tracks and a track and vehicle editor. So
so pretty cool. Yeah. So
that's interesting because I have all those. Turnbull managed to create all the hacks, mods, and Double D games for playing with the Analog Pro. So I'll have that.
Yeah, so that'd be a great way. Yeah, because there's an interesting thing with the Double D. It's there's a lot of interesting stuff. Obviously, very Japanese only. So I don't know how easy it would be to do the track editing.
That's the trouble, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess you'll have to use Google Translate. But no, I'm glad because this, I think, for me, this was in many ways the pinnacle. I mean, as much as I love GX, it's so brutal, the tracks of the GX game, that it can frustrate. Whether I think they got the right balance with this because of the width of the road and the fact that you always felt you have to be skilled with this, but you always felt you had a fighting chance.
Yeah, it's another game though. Using the analog stick. I mean, it's very divisive, the N64 controller, but the games that were made for it really suited it. That's the point, and it works really well on it. Oh, with it, sorry.
Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah. It's one thing I wouldn't mind picking up. They've come out with the N64 controller for the Switch 2.
What's that, retail at 20 quid or something like that?
I don't know. It depends how lucky you are to get it, because it's like with all things are limited, and then people ramp up the prices.
You can't get bugger all electronic these days.
Yeah,
the prices.
It's crazy, isn't it? I'm sorry, going off on a tangent. That's what we do. Have you seen like how Xbox are putting up their prices and the price of the Switch box? I was so disappointed when I heard the price of the Switch box, because that was my plan. Was I was going to buy the Switch box, the Steam box. I was going to buy the Steam box.
See what's it on about here?
Yeah. I don't know what I'm on about. It's the hot weather. I need the fan. No, ridiculous prices, isn't it? It's like over $1,000.
Yeah, but nobody's wages have increased in comparison to,
Yeah, but that's it. And it's like, spec-wise, it's quite cut back, really. I mean, one of the good things they have in trying to do with encouragement is they're giving the whole Steam OS. So you could just put it on a PC, but then it's at the moment it has to be like ideally an AMD chip and stuff like that to be optimized. So, but I do want one, but we just live in this crazy world where all the hardware is just so ridiculously priced, isn't it? Because of AI.
I'm glad I've got a decent rig at the moment. I mean, that time will come in a few years. This will get but it's handling everything. I mean, my 3080 Ti card handles Minor perfectly, mate. So I'm not even exactly. So.
Well, I'm glad I took the plunge with the Switch 2 when I did. And part of the reason was because I knew, because of the AI bubble, I knew that all the hardware prices would go up because it had been rumoured. So I'm kind of glad I took the bite with it, because did you see they've officially announced the Ocarina of Time, so it's definitely official. Yeah,
I mean that's one step closer. I mean, the minute obviously they've given nothing away apart from seeing Link sleeping in his bed like at the start of the game. But when footage comes out and reviews come out, what I'm going to be like about me must get. Well, it's happened every time.
That was the thing, like the two, like Star Fox and Ocarina of Time. I was like, I need a Switch, because I just know the prices are going to go up, and I know I particularly with Ocarina of Time, to have that remastered, and I think I read somewhere it's going to have the Master Quest as well on it.
Oh, that'd be good.
So that'd be cool.
I'm excited.
Obviously not have that in GameCube.
I mean, I'd rather have a new Zelda game personally, but see where this series is going to go. I mean, I know you didn't like Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild and that, but you know how much I rinsed them. I just had some of my most joyous gaming time in recent years with these two games. I absolutely just got lost in them. So.
Did you ever try? Sorry, we are going on a tangent here, but did you ever try the VR mod for? I think it was Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, I would just get nauseous with that. Not that I get VR. Just games that move too much. You can only play for, it's like novelty factor. I couldn't. The only one that really worked, the mod that worked, was on Dolphin because you can put in stereoscopic mode and head tracking. Was Metroid Prime worked incredibly well in VR. That was really, really, really impressive. But no, I didn't bother, to be honest. The emulation it has been getting better, but.
This was the ground up. It wasn't just on Dolphin. This was like a ground up. Someone had made it.
I get it. I'm just comparing it to the Dolphin. I mean, it's whatever emulator it is that runs that in the background. But I mean, you can run the game at 4K and stuff like that. But it's still a bit. I mean, give it a few more years time, and Nintendo not shutting it down, and you'll get it perfect. That's probably the truth.
Yeah. It certainly looked good on the videos I've seen, but I imagine you need a hell of a rig to be able to play it as smooth as he was showing it. People, if you're watching the video version, and thank you, God bless you. But you'll get a sense of what it looks like. But I was quite impressed. Not quite impressed, particularly in this heat, to actually try it. But the thought of putting a VR helmet on in this heat didn't win me over. Right, shall we go on to the next game then? Yeah, so the next game, so one of the cool things actually with the Switch Online is they've actually got pretty much the entire library of the Virtual Boy. And this is, I was looking through and there's some interesting ones, including like a Wario game, but I went for, knowing your love of pinball, and this is actually a good version, I chose Galactic Pinball on the Virtual Boy. Well, again, it does a really good 3D effect. Obviously, for those who haven't ever played the on the Virtual Boy, it's a real. Everything's in sort of like LCD red, isn't it? It's like a drenched in red.
Yeah.
And but I've always felt, because I did play a lot of the Virtual Boy's games. Obviously, at retro events, I'm always drawn to it. I never bought one back in the day because it had flop written all over it, didn't it? The console, yeah. But yeah, 1995, Galactic Pinball, with that sort of red and black stereoscopic. But I did play a lot of Virtual Boys on, if people do have a VR unit, it's a best way of playing it because it's like you can play it properly in true 3D and not feel sick or have a massive headache, which is what happens if you try and play the original system. Yeah, I mean, I'll pass to you because you are Mr. Pinball. What, I mean, do you want to sort of say your memories of this one or how?
Yeah, was it? I have played it, not on real hardware, but because of such said virtuality with Oculus Rift and the emulator that plays this, I've went down the rabbit hole the last number of years playing Virtual Boy games, and it's hard to explain how impressive it is. Now, I saw the Virtual Boy was set up in Play Expo a number of years back, and that was my first exposure to seeing it. And I was quite sceptical about how good it would be, and there was the Wario game on, and poked my eyes through the binoculars off it, looked in. I mean, wow. Actually, wow! This thing was ahead of its time, and I'm probably worried about staring at just black and red for any long periods of time. It'll probably burn your retinas out and you blink and that's all you'll see.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it was good to fire the emulator up again, and
did you do it in VR?
Yeah.
You played this?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic!
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I just couldn't bring myself to put on the with all the heat. But,
yeah, well,
so I did
if you've got that, you may as well put some sort of virtual porn on it after that. Just it's
yeah, get the mixer.
Yeah. You've set it all up now. Yeah, it's actually an okay pinball game. To be honest, there's a lot of enjoyment to be had with it. The physics is pretty decent. Now, it's not a ball you hit; it's a puck that bounces about the place, and there's more than one table as well. There's
it's quite a nice range.
Four tables to play. The first level you play is the best one. It's getting a Death Star at the top, the top left corner, where you have to try to get into its eye, if you want to call it that. But it's got all the bumpers, it's got moving objects, and even the puck. If you do well enough, different features, different modes, as it turns into Samus's ship from Metroid. And you can shoot them up and you get to shoot the asteroids and that as well. So it's a nice touch. Sound effects, decent as well for the thing. I love that whole lo-fi, one-bit music style that comes from the system. But yeah, I mean, playing it in 2D in a standard emulator, folks, you'll not get the...
Yeah, you do need to sort of play it in 3D. And of course, although I've never been mad enough to buy it, but I would have bought it if Nintendo allowed you to buy and own the games, because I don't know if they've done a device which is basically like 1-to-1 of exactly how the Virtual Boy looks, and it works with it, so you get the stereoscopic vision and can play all the games. But without the games built in, it's only as good while they deem to allow you to play it, and you're paying their subscription fee.
And that's why Nintendo don't get a bean from me apart from buying physical games. They will not. I mean, that's why I will not buy anything from their stores, any indie games, anything. Absolutely no. I mean, there is no option to play indie games but from digital. That's the reality. I mean, some people save up and you get limited release physical copies at a very expensive price, or they sometimes come out on what's it called, what's the cartridge based system? You get a handheld and a TV screen.
Oh, Everdrive, you mean? Yeah, Evercade.
I was going to say Everdrive as well. It's not Everdrive. Evercade. You'll see some indie games releasing that, which is an excellent way.
Yeah.
For the most, you'll have to decide what your digital distribution partner is going to be, and it will never, ever in a monthly Sundays be these wankers at Nintendo for that. I'm sorry, not.
I know. I lost so many games on the that I bought on the Wii and the DS as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're shutting down the store. Yeah.
I mean, so far anything you bought on the Switch 1 is available for you to buy, but it's just not like Steam in that way, or anything like that. I just won't. It won't be. It'll never be.
It's like it does worry me. You're right, you have no choice. But I don't know if did you see the news? And I think it's only in the Asia region, but it's still a nightmare. Did you see Sony had basically yet again pulled the plug on loads of films that people had bought?
Yeah, I've seen all that. Yeah,
and they were big ones at this time. Before it was a pretty obscure Discovery and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
This was stuff like Terminator 2 and big films, and it's just insane that I know they technically can do it, but it's just absolutely insane that they can just like say, all that money you spent on that library, tough.
Yeah,
and that's it, you lost it.
Yeah. I'm glad I don't feel the same way, as I've obviously said as many times. I don't feel the same way about movies as I do video games, and couldn't give a shit about. I mean, I'm not going to buy Blu-rays. I mean, there's all this thing about Blu-rays that went up 100 million%. Bullshit. You know what? I'm sorry, Paul Monaghan. I know you listen to this and you work in HMV, but HMV's days are fucking numbered.
Yeah. I enjoy wandering around it, but it's
well, what's the bobblehead things? Once you get past that shit,
Oh yeah, well, I was trying to do that now,
yeah.
isn't it? Yeah.
Nobody has the room to get an unholy collection of Blu-rays and DVD. I mean, just
all mine are in storage, sadly. But
all this is going to do is just increase piracy. Nothing else. It's not going to help the shops. Not as much as the shops need it. You need a huge footfall to make a shop work these days with rates and whatnot else. And people can bemoan, I need physical. I cannot be arsed. If you have watched the movie, get up, have to take it out. I am a lazy shit, right? And I need the Ultra HD version of it, and I'm not interested. I'd rather, I'd rather we don't watch TV in the same way as we used to. We used to just have say up to 4 channels, right? Right. Let's not include Channel 5, but Channel 4's been with us for a long time now in terrestrial TV. And a movie was on, sorry, and you went, I've not seen that in bloody years, and you were actually excited about seeing it, but that's all about, lapping it off the hand that feeds you in some ways, isn't it? Your masters that provide your entertainment rather than you providing your own entertainment. So there's debates against that as well. But no, I mean, I don't have the answer for that kind of thing now. I'm not going to buy the physicals. I'm not interested.
No, I do worry because I took the plunge because you got to choose. You tend to choose a vendor because you obviously want all your stuff in one place. Which again, I really wish they would blimmin'. There'd be ways of just combining whatever store you bought it from. But yeah, I do buy when I see it in sale from Amazon Prime. Like if I see like a film that I really love that's UHD. So like recently actually they had in the sale digitally all the Resident Evil films.
Okay.
So it was, I don't know, it was like a tenner or something, and I thought, well, I could be quite happy seeing Mila Jovovich, particularly in the first one, in 4K. So, and I kind of like it with that because then you do have like an online library you can always go to.
How often? I'm just asking you buy that. How often do you go back and watch at least a video game? It isn't the same to me. You see, it's not the same repetition because there's different. Even though the final outcome's the same, how you get there is different every time. You might go left, you might go right, you might die 1,000 times. It's an interactive piece of entertainment where a movie isn't interactive. It's got the same start, same beginning, the same ending, and after I've seen it once, I am not interested in ever seeing it again.
Yeah, but I got a shit memory. I'm like a goldfish, like club, club, club. Look at the castle. Every couple of years I might go back and rewatch the films that I love. I only tend to get the ones that I really enjoy. But yeah, no, I enjoy it. It's like I've gone back and I've been rewatching all the the Tom Holland and the other Spider-Man movies because I got quite excited with the new trailer. So yeah, but you're right. It is a bit mad, really, to buy them, and it's just. I guess it's a replacement of, and I do the same thing with games. I've pretty much digital only now, just because I haven't got the space. But I like the idea of having access to the games. You know what I mean?
I mean, we're deeply passionate about games, but everything is ephemera, and why should we really care? You can argue that I've been.
Yeah. Well, I care because I'm a tightwad and I've spent good money with it. It's terrifying that Company X can decide to pull it from you.
But I mean, at least if something's delisted, I understand the argument to take the ability to access it away from any newcomers.
Yeah, but that's and I would be fine with that if it was like only new. And in
Which happens on
fairness,
Steam, right?
yeah,
Like
and
Outrun and things like that were all there at one point, and
yeah,
they're all gone. But they just go to the smallest of the small print and Sony and go, we reserve the right to withdraw what you have in your library at any given time without any consent.
but that's it, and Sony and I don't know whether it's like particularly a Japanese thing, but Sony and Nintendo are just terrible for it. They're just like, don't give a shit.
But the best option is, and I keep saying to people then, is the complete and utter boycotting of it until they see sense, but people don't.
Yeah. No, no, you're right. I just hope, well, I don't know. They're probably not going to learn their lessons. I mean, the one good thing I guess with Xbox is Xbox haven't yet shafted people. They do a similar thing like Steam, and Amazon yet haven't done it. But who knows? I mean, the sad truth is that they can, and
they can, and well, yeah. And I've said it before, if you pass away or whatever, your family can't inherit your library either.
Yeah.
Well, if they know the password, you know what I mean. But in terms of transferability,
to be fair, the missus probably be glad of that. She doesn't have to sell the crap. Yeah,
that's the easiest bit. It's just
anyways,
we can debate this till that could be an episode
in itself. Yeah. So we go on to the next game then.
Yeah, what we got next?
This one's new to you at all, but I have chosen, it's another Japanese only release. It is Psycho Dream. This came out in 1992, and I think it was done by the people who did like Valus and things like that. But it's, I think it didn't review very well back in the day, but I just think it's actually not a bad little sort of hack and slash shoot, attack the monsters. There's two different characters. There's sort of like a Red Riding Hood robot thing and a woman not wearing much with wings, and you just go around and bash everything and whatnot. And it's, I don't know, I think it brings to mind obviously stuff like Valus and those sort of games, a little bit of Castlevania. I mean, what's your thought? First of all, was this new to you?
This is new to me. I mean, as much as I love the SNES, I hadn't even heard of it, mate, at all. So I was excited. I fired this up, and I'm with you. It's a reasonable game, but I found it annoyingly tough that I couldn't progress very far, and mainly because even on the first level, there's these towers that erupt from the ground, and the little red things that look like the facehugger-like things on Half-Life are all spewing out from it as well. And I could not find any way to not lose energy whilst attacking them. I found it a bit clunky in that bit. But I managed to find some action replay cheats to put on to progress a bit further. Best thing about emulation, I'm cheating on this one just to see it a little bit more. And it's pretty impressive how the characters all can evolve. You get power-ups and turn into fairies and whatnot else. Yeah, traditional sense of fairies, people. Right? I'm just trying to think. It's nothing comes as a surprise on the levels. You've got the vertical elevator thing that goes down. You've got to defend yourself and such like that. But I think it's more what I would say. This is more like a Mega Drive game on the SNES. And what's weird about that, because of that, you know how the SNES has a bit more washed out colours in comparison to the Mega Drive. It felt odd in some ways that you're playing something that you would, even the sound of the sound chip then as well. I think I should be I should be getting Mega Drive, Genesis vibes here, but I'm not. I'm getting SNES. I feel conflicted. That's the best way whilst playing it. But I mean, that's not a bad thing. It challenges your convention of what games you would play on this particular system. But yeah, it's just too hard.
It is.
For me to enjoy.
It is tough, and that basically because it didn't review well. I mean, it was getting like 30% and things, but
it's not that bad.
I don't think it's that bad. That's part of the reason, because that was the reason it never made it to the West, was because it reviewed. Even in like UK magazines that were, because they obviously would review like import games, because it was it was got so. Yeah, they were so harsh with it. It just, they never bothered to release it, which is a shame because they were planning to in America at least. But it just, they just decided to leave it, and I think it's, as I say, it's not top tier SNES, but it is a reasonable mid tier with some nice ideas and nice visuals and things like that.
The visuals are good, and as you do progress, if you can progress, I found immunity cheats, but it made the main character flicker too much. So I couldn't use it to record the video for the episode. It was strobed too much. But I did progress through the game, and the background art is really good of cityscapes and things like that. And the train, the train station, the underground train station,
that's cool, isn't it?
And the train moving in the background, but there's a good sense of progression because the levels do change. It's not just one samey game.
Yeah.
And because of that, I think it's if you can tell me how to play it and actually how not to get injured, then I'll probably fare a lot better.
I probably can't help you that much. I mean, I didn't completely
first level.
Die first level. I didn't MSR it, as we call it.
MSR it. Love it.
But yeah, it was tough and it was frustrating. But oh no, but I'm glad at least I was determined to find one that perhaps was new to you, and I thought it might be this one. So well, I'm glad to have introduced you to another Super Famicom game that you're not played, and hopefully to our listeners it'd be new to them as well.
No, very good.
So should we go on to the next game, because we've got 3 to go? We've been quite generous with the games this episode, haven't we? Because there was lots of systems. I wanted to have one for each system. This, I think, is a lovely game, and I don't hear that many people talk about it, and I think it's a shame because it's one of the greats on the Game Boy. It is Kid Icarus of Myths and Monsters, and it's a sequel to obviously it was a big NES classic, but I think this is a really good platformer where you play Kid Icarus. He's got a little bow and arrow and whatnot. He's like a Cupid-y sort of character, but whereas I struggle with the NES original, really get on with this one. I mean, what's your views with this one?
Yeah, I mean, the original bona fide classic for the NES, and if you're going to play the NES, you and do a deep dive and start playing all the good games, you need to fire it up. But this is a more, how shall I put it?
It's got like RPG
it's not
elements.
Friendly, but it captures all the best parts of it and makes it far more enjoyable and playable. I do love You know what these games remember me more of? Is how each of the levels are quite sprawling.
Yeah.
It's not single screen, obviously, and it's not linear. The levels can, it's like going up a tower, I suppose, and the level scrolling can wrap around horizontally the further you get up, but the idea is obviously to get your way out. And I love that large world feeling that this gives. And the only other system that really gave that back in the early days more was the BBC Micro and a lot of its platforms like Citadel and games like that, where they're just massively scrolling games where you're so excited to reach an area or move up just because you want to discover what is there. And this game completely delivers that. And it's really, really good fun. And I think it's got great graphics on the
I think
Game Boy.
And it's weird. It's one that never gets, when you look at like people's lists on the Game Boy, it never seems to make a lot of the list, does it? This one, it just seems to be forgotten about in a lot of ways.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think it's a great platformer. It's got nice little character touches, nice variety. I mean, it's always a bit frustrating. It's one of those where it's very easy to fall and then lose loads of. You suddenly have to do all the jumps again. But yeah, I mean, this is another one I had great fun playing on the Ambonic over the Nintendo Switch, if I'm honest. But yeah, however you come to it and play it.
Here's a question: and how much does it blow these screens up on the Switch for these, handheld games?
It does quite a good job. It sort of it puts overlays and things to make it look okay. It doesn't look horrific or anything. They make it look quite true to how it should look, if you know what I mean. So I mean it's not a bad way to play it. It's just it's very much a nostalgia thing. When it's a handheld, I like going to the Ambonic because it just feels right. Particularly with the Ambonic SP, because the ratio of the screen is exactly the same as the Game Boy Advance, so not so good for this one, but particularly if you're playing advanced games, it's wonderful to see it in the correct ratio, if you know what I mean. So I think it's another really, really good one, and as you say, it's one that I was never that drawn to the NES original when I played it.
It's a very good game.
It's a good game, but I probably had that thing. This is a much easier entry point. Really.
Yes, that's the best way of putting it.
Yeah, more forgiving. Right, shall we go on to our penultimate game then?
Got for us, mates.
I adore this, and for years and years I didn't even know this existed. I just came across it. It is on the NES, Fire and Ice by Tecmo, aka, even though in some regions it's known as, Solomon's Key 2, and I'm such a fan on the Spectrum, Solomon's Key, and years later the arcade version. That it was only sort of like decades later that I discovered there's a really, really good sequel, isn't it? You play the little elf dude, like wizardy type thing, and you just basically, for those who never played Solomon's Key, it's the same idea. You have to like fire blocks you can basically magic up blocks from and take blocks from elsewhere and move them, and the whole idea is you have to find the bell and the keys to get to the door, isn't it? That's essentially it.
Kill all the flames, quash all the flames in the levels.
Yes, yeah. But I just think this is such a good update. Yeah, I mean, what did you think with?
I adore this game. Absolutely adore this.
So this was not new to you?
No, not
new
to me.
No.
Yeah. I love a good single screen puzzle platformer like that, where it progresses very well. It starts off very easy to let you understand the mechanics of the game. Okay, how 2 blocks joined horizontally, if you break one, there's nothing, if the first block's touching a wall, it's stuck, it's bonded, it's fused. But if you break that one, then the other block that's attached to it will fall. So you really have to think how to do these and achieve the goals of the level, or otherwise do the quick kill restart. I buggered up, and that's part of the game. So it's good. You can choose in any of the worlds. You can choose any level immediately. You don't have to go in a linear fashion, but you're not going to do that, are you? You're just going to go, I've done level 1, I'll do level 2, 3, you're not going to go, I mean, it's fine if level 4's doing your nutting, I'll go to 5 and 6. Oh, I've done the end, that was easier. I'm going to go back to that one now and play that. But what a charming, visually impressive game that is. It is typical NES, isn't it? How it looks, how it plays, how it feels. It's just absolutely wonderful.
They make so much character. The little hero, just all the little animation touches and just it's genuinely, it's got really good level design. And I mean, I'm not even sure what other versions this came out.
Well, there's a Russian version of it that came out for the ZX Spectrum, and it is absolutely exceptional. If that came out by Ocean back in the day, you're talking Crash Smash level and up there with Rainbow Islands and everything else. That's how good it is. And we'll put that in the show notes for people, for the Spectrum or 8-bit fans. If you want to see a different version of this, Fire Nice on that is incredible.
Yes, no, that's really, really cool. Because as I say, I fell in love with the original game, and I would have just lost my shit if there was like a sequel of that quality. It would be amazing, isn't it?
It's better.
Yeah, it is a better game.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the same with the Specky one. So, I mean, I played Solomon's Key a lot on the Specky and really, really enjoyed it. It was just done so well. But this and that version is to go for. It really is. Definitely. 150 levels in this game, mate. You're not going to be running levels anytime soon. So it's 15 worlds and 10 levels per world. So that's incredible. That's a generous amount of blocks to crumble and push.
Although I was working through the letter E on the Amiga, and Emerald Mine on the CD32 has in terms of, because it has Emerald Mine 1 and 2, which is like Boulder. If you don't know it, or listeners don't know it, it's a Boulder Dash clone, and I was trying to count up. It's about 17,000 levels.
That's ridiculous.
That's a lot of Boulder
You'll
Dash.
never play all of them.
I know, but how awesome was that? So, because basically they put the first 2 games, which had lots of levels anyway, and then all the user created content was like all lumbered on the CD with a nice menu.
Yeah.
Anyway, should we go on to our final game?
Yeah, indeed.
We're here already, so of course the only system that's left was and it's the Mega Drive. So this is the only non-Nintendo system. So they keep it a little separate on their NSO, but it's included in the, in the subscription. But, great collection of games, but I had to choose. I went for Shinobi 3, Return of the Ninja Master. Because everybody always goes to Revenge of Shinobi, which is amazing, and I do love that. But in many ways, I think Shinobi 3 is the better game. As much as I love Revenge of Shinobi. I mean, this came out in 1993, and it was, just an amazing game. It blew me away back in the day. I'm curious, because obviously you're less of a Sega nut than I am.
Yep.
I presume you probably played it.
Yeah,
but I mean, what was your take with this one? I mean, did you spend proper time with Shinobi 3? Or?
Yeah, well, with this one, like I said at many an episode in the past, my mates normally had pretty shitty tastes of games that really bored me. And let me give some examples again of games that bore me. Aliens 3, boring as shit. Fucking hate
I quite
that
like
game.
the Mega Drive. I quite like the Mega
Drive.
Oh,
it bores the crap out of me.
Do you like the SNES version? Because I find the SNES one bores the crap out of me.
To be honest, I mean, the Mega Drive's better than the SNES one. But they've got their own different things. I mean, Rick and I covered both of them on the Aliens episode anyway. But, and predictable action games like this was 10 a penny. That's the only games my mates would buy, so they all had the same kind of sound, the same kind of music, the same kind of visuals. I was just getting bored playing the same genres more than anything else. But this stood out of being an absolutely stunningly gorgeous game. It is really impressive for the Mega Drive. Shows off some of the best pixel art I've seen on it. It's just
great music,
beautiful.
Everything. Yeah, it's so polished.
Yeah, it is very polished, and I like it as a game. But I think it's the best Shinobi game, or Shinobi.
Yeah,
Shinobi. That is by far. I mean, the first one was a classic in the arcade when it first came out. Of course, it was.
Oh yeah.
Right, but I got a bit bored of these 2-level, action games. Like Rolling Thunder or that, where you can go on the platform above or platform below. At least this shies away from that more and gives you a general full screen action game. Of course, it's got higher levels. There's traditional elements of Shinobi in that, and it is there, but it's not the main core of the game. Yeah,
and it plays so well on the Switch. I mean, it just. You're right. These console ones, with nice overlays and things, just looks amazing. It's nice sort of playing these games.
I forgot all about the surfboard level.
Oh yeah,
that was great. Oh man, when I got to that, because I played this all the way through.
Yeah, that's great, isn't it?
Because it's not it's not a massive game. These games never were. It's an arcade game anyway, so just the speed and the jumping and avoiding everything.
Oh, it's such a good iconic level, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's what I love is not only is it really solid controls and everything in it, sort of it as much as I love like Revenge of Shinobi, I find I find the variety on the third one. I just don't think it because of it came out quite late, really. You think like middle of 93. You're not very so I just don't think it had the same impact for a lot of people because
but look at the visuals. It really should, but people have I mean, there's nothing quite else to move on to yet at this period, I suppose, yet, because in the UK we've not got PlayStation yet or anything, so people are still holding on to the consoles, I suppose, at this stage.
Yeah. I guess you had Mega CD and things like that, doesn't it? People were
to try to breathe extra life into
it. Yeah.
I mean, look at that. Look at the level you're running about this military base with all the silos and the forest in the background is all on fire.
It's got so many wonderful
amber
effects,
red colour. It's just incredible.
Yeah, and great bosses as well in this, isn't it? Really good.
But this is the point I was making. We were comparing Psycho, what's its name, to to this, or that look how washed out that is in comparison to the visual splendor of this.
Yes, yeah, exactly. This is I love. I mean, thankfully, like the Mega Drive collections and stuff, had there's plenty of ways of playing this, isn't there? Like legitimately, not just but I think it's a fantastic game, and for all, I guess, because of the impact, everybody always their go-to tends to be Revenge of Shinobi, but I think this deserves the love. And it is given the love, but it just, everybody goes to the better known sort of like Revenge of Shinobi, isn't it, really? So
yeah, that was more lightning in a bottle. They got it right at the time, but it's nowhere. Revenge of Shinobi is nowhere near visually as impressive at all.
Yes, yeah, this is really one of the prettiest games on the Mega Drive, isn't it?
Yeah, it's day and night. Again, if you go back to and compare it to Revenge has got that more washed out, kind of look to it. And I
mean, the nice thing is, the Switch Online library has both, of course. Yeah. But yeah, it was just I had great fun playing this again.
There's the first
been a
one
while
up,
since
there's the first one up there as well.
Yeah, well, when you say the first one, Revenge of Shinobi's on the library, yes, right, but not like the arcade Shinobi. But of course you can, well, you can buy that on I think it's on the Sega Ages, like the individual ones you can buy, which are great, the Sega Ages, because they're such made with love.
Okay.
But it's and that's one of the things actually I love with the Switch in general, is there's such a wonderful eclectic library of retro games that you can get and purchase. But the trouble is, you're right, a large chunk of them are all digital, and you just know in your heart of hearts that Nintendo are going to decide one day, sorry, you're not, that's it. You lost all your games. Kind of thing, or because I think with the DS and the Switch, isn't it? Although they didn't take your games off, you couldn't re-download them.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, so effectively, I lost loads that I'd bought on the Switch and whatnot. So so I probably should take a leaf out of your book and be a lot more wary than I am buying the games, but I want them, goddammit.
I know. I mean, if you're still want to get these ones legitimately, I get that, and that's the avenue to do it, then so be it. But we've all got the ROMs, we've got minis and everything else. Most of the things. So it just
there's plenty of ways to play it. It's just but I mean, the Sega, what used to be quite generous, isn't it? But they've started pulling all the stuff, because the Mega Drive collection was a great way of playing this. That came out on the modern platforms, but they're slowly pulling all of that down now, because they're trying to. I think if rumours are true, they're planning to do like their own Netflix.
Yeah, it seems like that, isn't it?
Yeah, and of course they've done some of their remasters, isn't it? With they did Shinobi, which we discussed, with not ours. But I will say have you seen the trailer for the new Crazy Taxi? With
that looks fun. That's just Crazy Taxi, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, but it's nice that like it's a world city, so there's like a number of cities far more than what you have on the original. So. Yeah, it looks like they've not ruined it, but it's. But I'm curious how it's going to work, because they've been really disappointed with sales of things like Shinobi and even the Sonic Racing. Because I actually quite like Sonic Racing, but you actually, if you play, it just doesn't have the content.
Okay.
Once you'd played through it, I don't know, probably a couple of days, I've not felt the compulsion to go back to it.
Right.
So So yeah, so I don't know with modern Sega. I just wish they would bloody release like all their they got so much gaming retro gold just sat, and they only bloody put it on Cebu and things like not Yakuza. I mean,
Yeah.
things like that. Just give me the frigging games. I want my Outrun too. Awesome. So that was it. That was my choices of games.
Good
So
choices, mate. Really good ones.
yeah. So you enjoyed them. So
Mhm.
what was well, actually, most of them you knew anyway, didn't you? But was there any particular standouts for you, or it was great going back to? Not necessarily new to you, but just.
I think spending more time with Starfy Free was probably the highlight for me, because I haven't really spent any time with it at all beyond
Yeah.
firing it up once. I went, oh, I'll come back to that. So that's forced me to do that, and that was really enjoyable. And I mean, Fire and Ice is always a gem to play.
Oh, I loved playing that. Yeah, it was so good going back to it.
Yeah.
But I really
Yourself?
enjoyed playing all of them. Yeah, I mean, I think Starfy 3 as well, just because I was in that mood of I didn't want anything too challenging. It was great going back to Wario World, because I've not played that in years.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, Fire and Ice. Just sitting down and playing that properly was just so good, because it's the sequel you had always hoped for to Solomon's Key. It just does everything you'd want from a sequel, expanding the levels, interesting puzzles, mixing mechanics, but that same central core idea, but just done with such love, isn't it? And I'm just surprised. I mean, it's great that it appeared on the you said it's appeared on the Spectrum Next, so there's clearly some.
No, just the Spectrum.
Yeah.
The ZX Spectrum.
On the just ordinary Spectrum.
Yeah.
Next. Oh, cool.
You really need to play this, mate. I think you'll like it.
Yeah, no, I've got a feeling I will, because that'd be double nostalgia playing it. Because for me, Solomon's Key is always even though it's not, it was always a Spectrum game for me, because it was years later. It was only when Main came along that I discovered it was
It's weird when a game becomes ingrained. It's Renegades like that for me. And you go play the arcade version, it pales in comparison simply because you invested an incredible amount of time on your home port of it, that anything else pales in comparison, simply because that was the version you knew.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lucky you didn't ingrain yourself too much playing Outrun on the Spectrum, though. And then go to arcade. That was never going to happen, is it? Ooh, this arcade version looks weird. Everybody's looking at you. What drugs is he on?
I'm really managed to convince myself that the Spectrum Outrun was good. Yeah. I just, I remember putting on the because you had the audio tape, wasn't it? That they gave you with the music, so to have that running in the background. I was like, playing it on the +2 as well. But you would. So you had pretty good music.
There's sometimes like that where the 128K music, I'm more precious about that. A good example is Tim Follin's work on the Specky version of Bayonet Commando, right? The 128K music is absolutely sublime on that. It distorts an arcade version. It's a very distorted sound chip, or however the wave functions have been done, that it's far more sounding better on AY. So there are instances of, and people will disagree with me, that's fine, but I
love the AY chip. I love brings back, but I can't work out whether it's. No, I think it's. I genuinely think it's great music chip, but it's built into that nostalgia. It's like what we said, like when you play like an Atari game or something like that, it's got that certain sound.
Atari Poké chips. The minute you hear the sound, even on the Atari console, on the 2600, and the audio and that, Yar's Revenge sound, the minute you hear that, you're back there, aren't you? I think audio sometimes does it more than visual.
Yeah, absolutely. So many memories. And I'm the same, like, when I listen to like Amiga games and music.
Yeah. I think one on the Amiga for me, when I hear it every time, is Fire and Ice, different game, but the Fire and Ice music on
amazing music.
Or the Lemmings tune, because you played so many hours, hundreds of hours playing Lemmings, that the music, although cheesy, is so nostalgic, isn't it?
Oh, it is good. Although with Fire and Ice on the Amiga, the CD32 track is awesome. You know, the CD32 music is gorgeous. But I'm looking forward to that. You know, once I get Letter E out of the way, I'll be on the Letter F, and I probably won't go beyond Fire and Ice. I'll just be like, just play it all the way through. But yeah, no, I'm glad. Thank you to our listeners being so patient, and thank you.
Yeah, sorry it's been a while, but
mostly my fault. Mostly my fault between us, because it was like, it's just been insane with work and projects and babysitting Mira, and there's always a million things.
But an episode's always on the mind, and you feel guilty when you're not doing one.
I was keen on doing it. It was just like, it wasn't to be. But we put out enough content that quite a few of our listeners are several episodes behind anyway, aren't they? So, it's
that's not a euphemism, is it?
Probably. Awesome. All right then, boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed, and as always, reach out to us on Discord. We'd love to hear what ones you would have chosen for the Nintendo Switch Online, or any of these new ones to you. If they were new or going back to it, we'd love to hear your memories of them. Always wonderful knowing that people are enjoying our content and putting, our little podcast, and just great. So until next time, keep it retro.
Bye.